Hey everyone, Simon here with another update about cryptocurrencies. And I get questions sometimes when I make these YouTube videos from people who say, why are you focusing on sports? Why are you focusing on stocks and cryptocurrencies? You know, isn't astrology better served by helping people in other ways? Well, yes and no. So here's the thing. The reason astrology has survived to our modern age is because it is focused on world events. Um, it was the it was reserved for kings and queens, for royalty in ancient times. And astrology wouldn't have survived if it didn't provide accurate predictions about the weather, about wars and competitions, about what was a lucky marriage, what was a good time to get married, and so forth. And so, mundane events are actually the reason we still have astrology. It's not. Look, I can boil down to two things what most people will come to an astrologer for: when am I going to get paid, and when am I going to get laid? Meaning questions about marriage, questions about job and finance and children, which are all questions about either, love and affection or money and survival. But beyond that, there are mundane astrology offers a more global look um, at how we can serve humanity. For example, if I predicted, hey, you're going to get a job on this date, that's useful for that one person. But if an astrologer predicted, hey, this month, watch out for an earthquake in this region, do you think that could be more useful to more people? And now I don't predict earthquakes, but there are some astrologers who do. Christina Collins is doing a lot of great research there. James Kelleher has been doing it forever. And we're not always right, obviously, but mundane predictions like this can have a world changing or can affect the health, well-being, and consciousness of masses of people. And I think one of the groundswell world-changing events happening now is the cryptocurrency revolution. Why? Because it is going to afford people the ability to change their lives truly in places like Africa, in South America, in East Asia, where people have not had access to controlling their own livelihoods. This is offering a democratic, corruption-free method of allowing everyone to have their share of the pie. So this is partly my interest because this is revolutionizing the flow of energy, of Shakti. Money is and wealth is a flow of energy. And so far it's been uh, massed in these big institutions, banks and other financial monopolies. And now it's coming to everybody. And so there are certain projects, even like Cardano, which we'll talk about, that are going to Africa and helping rural peoples get um, get their rights back. Because it's not just about cryptocurrency, it's about the power of the blockchain. And the blockchain is perhaps the most democratic, universal invention since democracy itself. For example, if you're inherited a little plot of land, but you lost the deed to it, in any third world country, someone can come and push you off, if they have a couple of guns and a few bad people, and they'll say, now it's my land. But if that land is registered on the blockchain, nobody can take it. Nobody can claim ownership because they can't erase that. They can't burn that deed, right? Another example, if you vote, how do you know if the vote you cast was actually put in for the person for whom you voted? With the blockchain, it becomes very simple. You'll know exactly when your vote was registered, who you voted for, and it's connected, right? So you have access to that. Another example, when you pay taxes, how do you know what your taxes are going to? If taxes were on the blockchain, you would see where every dollar of your taxes is being spent. Okay, so enough about the philosophy. That's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is, and why I'm excited about cryptocurrencies, because it affords little people myself included, who work at a job, have a little bit of money coming in, to put that money somewhere where it can potentially grow and where it's not subject to the vicissitudes of the financial elite. Like a lot of you, my family included, suffered when in 2008 the stock market crashed, and all of a sudden our houses, which we thought were worth this, are now worth half, but we still have to pay this mortgage. So many people were kicked out and so forth. This is why Bitcoin was invented. So okay, so what are the practicals, and how does this work? Well, over the last year, I've been researching how to apply not just strategies towards cryptocurrency, but applying also astrological principles, applying good research principles towards creating a portfolio that can help you move ahead. And I was just telling a friend last March, I called a friend. I said, "Listen, you need to buy Bitcoin. It's at the lowest it's ever going to be." It was like 3,500 or something. And they declined. They said, "Well, I'm not so sure." Now they wish they had bought in, right? Now it's 50,000 today. So the question is, have you missed out? And so today's presentation is about the starter portfolio, which is if you're just starting now. Now, also some people who have been in cryptocurrency, here's the negative side. It's not all roses and butterflies. As with any new technology, there can be scammers who take advantage. Like when people go and peacefully protest, there are some bad thugs who will piggyback on that and go and loot and go and, kill and do all the, they'll use that as a cover. So of course there are bad actors who are using cryptocurrencies as a cover to scam people. Remember when the internet first came out and we all got emails? I am a Nigerian prince. I have $22 million ready to transfer to your bank account. All you need to do is send me $2,000 so that we can start the process. You know how many elderly people who are new to the space did that, and they lost their money? The exact same Nigerian prince scams are happening right now, only they're more sophisticated, and but they all have the same thing in common, which is they ask you to give up your private information. They ask you to give your passwords, your passcodes, your even bank account numbers, whatever it is. Please don't do any of that. The beauty of crypto is that you own all of your stuff. It's not in a bank. It's not owned by a Nigerian prince, by the president, by anybody. It's yours on the blockchain, and it's confirmed by many, many nodes. So yes, we have scammers in this space, and I'm also making this video because some of the people, even in my class, have suffered losses, not because of their portfolio, but because of scams. And so some of them are starting over. And folks, this even happens to CEOs of cryptocurrency companies. One of the top people at Ripple, I think, lost, I forget how much it was, but hundreds of thousands of dollars to a scam. Okay. So if it sounds too good to be true, if it sounds like someone is giving away money and all they want is some information from you, forget about it. Okay. Run the other direction, because you don't need that. You don't need scams. Scams prey upon our own greed, right? Oh, I want free money. As in everything in life, when you do it smart and you work hard and you put it in the right places, it should grow. All right, that's enough out of me right now. So what is the starter portfolio, and what are some of the strategies you can implement to take advantage of this revolution, the crypto revolution, the blockchain revolution? You've been hearing about it. Now you can be part of it. I have no skin in the game. The only thing that we do is I run a class called Crypto Questions Answered. There's a link below where you can click. It's on a donation basis. You drop me, whatever donation you can. I think there's a $5 minimum, and you can join for that week. And every week you do a donation. If you don't want to do it every week, just do once, and it's lifetime. It's $300, and you not only get lifetime crypto questions answered, past, present, and future, all classes. You also get my Lucky Times tutorials and a whole bunch of other bonuses and stuff reserved only for the lifetime members. Okay, so where would I start if this were me? This is not financial advice. This is what I would do. In fact, this is just my opinion. This is entertainment. I'm going to use astrology. But if I were starting out right now, what would I do? What strategy would I employ? So let's get into this. So first of all, there's a guy called Tico Tiwari who runs an expensive subscription program, and he does a lot of research, and it's good research. And he has a strategy which right now is a very good strategy. Now, it wasn't necessarily a few years ago, because a lot of the things that we invested in were, basically lost money. But it is the perfect strategy now. Why? Because we're in a bull market. Everything's going up. So what is the strategy? The strategy is, instead of going into just one thing like Ethereum or like Bitcoin and hoping that that's the thing that explodes, go into 5, 10, 20 different things with a smaller amount. And so you have coverage, so that if 2 or 3 of those explode, it's going to more than make up for the others who maybe don't. All right. So let's say you're starting out with 10,000. You can adjust this to whatever your level is. Then put 500 or up to $1,000 into 10 up to 20 different projects, and let the bull market do the work for you. Now, this is Tika's strategy, and there's Picasso used to say, good artists borrow, but great artists steal. Meaning that he studied the masters before him. And not only did he say, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I'll do something like that. No, he took their technique and he applied it to his own, to his own work. And that's what we're doing here. We're going to take Tika's recommendations and tweak them. So let's see. So what are some of those coins? I'm not saying to go out and get these coins. A lot of these have already had great runs up, but I'm sharing with you, these are Tika's 7 coins to 7 million, right? Wi-Fi, this is called Yearn Finance. The reason it's desirable is because it has a fixed supply, like Bitcoin, and there won't ever be any more created. It's already quite high, but it has potential to do well. But again, do your own research, and more important, even just as important, see if that sound falls in a good place in your horoscope. How do you know how to do that? We cover that in our classes. We talk about it all the time. And we talk about examples of, even more important, which sounds are horrible for you. In the case of the person who got scammed, they bought a coin, or they were interested in a coin that was in one of the worst places possible in their chart. I don't know if you can believe me or not, but I've seen this play out over and over. I've seen this in predictions. And again, why do I do sports predictions? It's to test to see how this stuff works. When I see that, say, a quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, for that game, his sound falls in the 8th house, or it's conjunct the Avayogi point. These are technical terms. It's afflicted by the south node. Like, say the sound Ma for Mahomes is with the south node in the 8th house. He's not going to do well that game. I can bet on it. In fact, I do, to show you that this stuff works. So this isn't just feel-good astrology, about your chakras and about your light angels and all that stuff. That may be good in certain contexts, not when it comes to predicting real world events. So when I talk about sounds, I'm not coming from a place of new age, wishy-washy, hippie kind of wannabe stuff. I'm coming from research, and I put my predictions, my money on the line for that research. And it's not always right. In fact, at least 30% of the time it's not right. But we do have you can see for yourself. Try it out. Anyway, so the next coin is synthetics, a token. Curve. Now, the interesting thing about synthetics and the other a project here called Matic is you can earn just by holding it 16 to 18% interest in the Celsius wallet. Now, what's a Celsius wallet? Celsius Network is a place I discovered about a year and a half ago, and they pay you interest on whatever crypto you hold in their wallet, and it's paid. It's annual every day. It's compounded, and it's paid out once a week. And we can go to Celsius Network right here, so you can see the and there'll be a code below. So if you use the code, you'll get $30 right away for downloading the wallet and putting some cash in there, and you start earning. Guys, I was a skeptic. I, for the longest time, was like, is my money safe in there? I'm not sure. Well, there you go. Look, you're earning 16% just by keeping your USD coin, which is basically US dollar coin, in there. Very simple. Okay, it's not very simple, but the concept is very simple. It takes a couple of steps to download the wallet and then put some money in there. But once it's done, that's it. Great project, Celsius. Also like the Celsius token, which is right here. There's Celsius. So anyway, SNX Curve Compound. These are all DeFi projects, the Celsius token, Balancer, and Aave. So these are, you can put $500. I would, if I had 10,000, I'm not saying you should. Again, not at all financial advice. Don't listen to me about financial advice. This is an example of what I would do. These are Tika 7 coins. Now, I would also, and if you ask me out of these, which ones do I really believe in that hasn't yet reached its peak? This is a good question. This is why we actually have our classes, because these are the kinds of questions our students ask. I think Celsius has great potential still, even though it's gone up 36x since it was on our radar when it was about 10, 12 cents. It's $5 now. So it has 50x, I believe. Something like that, right? 10 cents to $1 is 10x, to $5 is 50x. Yeah, 50 times. So if you put $10,000, you'd have 500,000. You've got $500,000. That's incredible. It's life-changing gains just from one token. So I'd have Celsius. I would certainly have all of these blue chips. So I call these altcoin blue chips because they've been around for a long time. And Cardano is one of those that it's doing tremendously good things in the world. They want to truly democratize the blockchain and cryptocurrency. Polkadot is giving companies a chance to create new projects. Ethereum is the granddaddy of altcoins, and Chainlink is an oracle that collects real world data and puts it in the blockchain. Don't worry about any of that. These are the blue chips. If it were me, I would put 500 to 1,000 in each of these. If my portfolio, if I had 10,000, I'd put probably 1,000 in each of these. And then, maybe 500 to 1,000 in Celsius, and then maybe some of these. Now, here are some others that I currently hold. Elrond Gold, SXP Swipe, which is trying to bring, which has credit cards, crypto cards, and so forth, savings accounts. Matic, as I mentioned, Matic also earns you 16% just by holding it. Maker, Uniswap, Stellar, Theta, VeChain, Engine, and VGX Voyager. Voyager came on our radar. In December, I went on vacation, and I took off our classes for a month. And just before I went on vacation, we had been looking at Voyager. And I said, guys, Voyager is 8 cents. You should own this. This is a potential 10x coin. Well, this is worth $3.60 right now as we speak. So it's done very well. How's my math? It's about 45x since December, guys. So this is the power of cryptocurrency. Now, how do you know? I just named 20 different coins. How do you know which ones to get? Well, use your lucky sounds, use your lucky times. What are my lucky sounds? There are charts like this that splay out the horoscope, and based on what time and date you were born, we can find the lucky sound for you. We've done this in our group, and I teach this. I also have free YouTube videos on this, I believe, somewhere out there. And perhaps the most important and least talked about method is you have to get clear. You have to connect with your source. Using your lucky times, your lucky sounds is going to help you 10 to 30%. Doing your research is going to help you another 10 to 20%. And so now you have a 50% boost, but you're still at the mercy of luck and the markets, and you never know. By getting clear and creating a space where you're attracting what you want to attract, this is the missing piece, right? And this is where you could bring your success rate even higher. Okay, so we've talked about these things. Now, this is all, again, very general, because what you have to also ask yourself, what is your time frame? How long do you want to hold crypto? If you want to do this for your grandkids, then you probably want to get something like Bitcoin. Notice Bitcoin is not even on the list here, because today Bitcoin's 50,000. If it goes to 100,000, it's going to double. Great. But these projects have the potential to do more than double. Especially, I love these altcoin blue chips. So if you're a parent or a grandparent, I would say, if I were to pick one, I'd say Cardano, because Cardano, I believe, is the future of crypto and the democratization of the blockchain on a global scale. The engineers, the people behind it, we've looked at their charts, we've looked at all of it. It looks massively positive in the long run. Now, does that mean that in the next 2 months it's going to triple or quadruple? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I would have to check the notes from class. You would think I'd know all this stuff since I run the charts. Honestly, it's like when I see clients after the class, I forget about what we've talked about, because there's so much information. But I would, if this were for my grandkids, I would invest in Cardano, Bitcoin as well. Ethereum, Polkadot, Link. These blue chips, I think, have long-term potential. And the others may be spot plays. I think Voyager is easily a $10 token. By the way, difference between a token and a coin. A token is built on someone else's platform. So, for example, Voyager and Celsius are built on the Ethereum blockchain. So they're tokens, whereas Ethereum is a coin. Anyway, so if you're in it for the short term, you may not want to go into Bitcoin. If you just want to hold for a few months and just make a quick buck, that may not be the way to go. If you want to do long term, then you may want to go with some of these DeFi coins. If you want to do long term, then stick with the blue chips. Don't gamble. Don't mess around. Okay. All right. And yeah, now, how do you get access to these coins? Well, a lot of new people only have a Coinbase account or a Coinbase Pro. So the first thing I recommend is, if you have a Coinbase account, get Coinbase Pro. It's very easy, and it gives you much more flexibility in transferring funds, and you have access to a few of these coins. Coinbase Pro has Wi-Fi. They have SNX. I believe they have Balancer. I believe they have Aave. So you have access to those. They have certainly Ethereum and Chainlink. But even Coinbase Pro is limited. All right. So what you're going to probably want to do is open an account with a major exchange, the biggest of which is Binance. Now, if you're not in the United States, that's great. You're going to have access to all the coins. So Binance, if you're in the United States, there's something called Binance US, which is far more limited, or you can just use a VPN and get the normal Binance account. And here you can see you've got access to all kinds of all of these cryptos. You can see everything is kind of down today. Let's see. All of these cryptos that I've mentioned are here on Binance. They're available, or most of them, I should say. And so I think that would be the next step. After having a Coinbase and a Coinbase Pro, open a Binance account. And then open a Celsius wallet to earn interest on it. Then finally, if you want to get very fancy and start doing research on what is the next coin that's going to 100x, like this Prometheus coin here. Prometheus, like you see, this is up 60% in one day. That's just kind of par for the course. It's probably up 300, 400, 500% for the week. This stuff happens in crypto. How do I find these? Go to research.binance.com and you can find out what the new projects that are coming out. Here's Lit, which has done well. Trust Wallet, and you'll see Prometheus here on the list as well. The Graft, Cover, Scale, all of these have done. There's Prometheus, Prom. These are more or less newish projects that are launching in the DeFi space, but these are very much more risky, let's say. They're not the blue chips. These are brand new startups. So treat them as such. If you have a 10,000 if I have a 10,000 portfolio, I'd put no more than $500 in each of these, right? These are small asymmetrical bets. All right, I know I'm talking a lot about, stuff that's not astrology related, that's not dharma related, but I'm doing this with the hope that this work will help bring a different awareness to dharma and help people free themselves. Because if you're stuck in a job, washing cars or sweeping, not that there's anything wrong with that, but doing something that you don't really want to do, being able to take control and freeing yourself from the yoke of poverty will help you accomplish your dharma. It will help you fulfill your life purpose. That's my hope. And so, that's why I'm into this for myself, and that's why I share what I share with you guys and with the public. So I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you in the next one. Namaste.